joining us this Friday, March 5th for the first live stream showing of Nassau Community College's production of A Midsummer Night's Dream.
Given how difficult it has been for the performing arts to function during the pandemic and these trying times, we would just like to give a special thank you to the theater department and all of the administration here at NCC for their care and support throughout this process. We wouldn't be here without you.
A few things to keep in mind before we get started. Throughout the show, feel free to use the live chat feature, ask us a question, or tell us what you think is funny, or tell us what was your favorite part of the show.
Following the show, we'll have a talk back with the cast. And if you got a question for the actors or directors, or me, Jamal, put it in the chat and send us an email by responding to the email that got you here in the first place.
Our adaptation of A Midsummer Night's Dream will run just under an hour long.
Thank you for tuning in and enjoy the show.
Whither wander you?
Over hill, over dale, through bush, through briar, through flood, through fire, I do wander everywhere. Farewell, love of spirits, all be gone. Our queen and all our elves come here and on.
The king doth keep his revels here tonight. Take heed, the queen come not within his sight, because she, as her attendant hath, a lovely boy stolen from an Indian king. And jealous Oberon would have the boy, knight of his train, to trace the forest wild. But she perforce withholds the loved boy.
Either I mistake your shape in making quite, or else you are that shrewd and knavish sprite called Robin Goodfellow. Are not you he?
Thou speakest aright. I am that merry wanderer of the night. But room, fairies, here comes Oberon.
And here, my mistress.
Proud Titania.
What's jealous Oberon? Fairies, skip hence. I have forsworn his bedding company.
Tarry, rash wanton. Am I not thy lord?
Then I must be thy lady. Why art thou here? But that forsooth of bouncing Amazon, thy buskin mistress and your warrior love, to Theseus must be wedded, and you come to give their bed joy and prosperity.
How canst thou thus for shame, Titania, glance at my credit with Hippolyta, knowing I know thy love for Theseus? I do but beg a little changeling boy to be my henchman.
Set your heart at rest. His mother was a votaress of my order. She being mortal if that boy did die. And for her sake I do rear up her boy. And for her sake I will not part with him.
How long within this wood intend you stay?
Perchance till after Theseus' wedding day.
Give me the boy and I will go with thee.
Not for thy fairy kingdom. Fairies away.
Well, go thy way. Thou shalt not from this grove till I torment thee for this injury. My gentle Puck, mother, fetch me that flower. The herb I shewed thee once, that the juice of it on sleeping eyelids laid shall make man or woman madly dote upon the next live creature that it sees.
I'll put a girdle around the earth in 40 minutes.
Having once this juice, I'll watch Titania when she is asleep, then drop the liquor of it in her eyes. Next thing then she waking looks upon, be it a lion, a bear, bull, or wolf, she shall pursue it with the soul of love. And ere I take this charm from off her sight, I'll make her render up her page to me. But who comes here? I'm invisible, and I will overhear their conference. Now, fair Hippolyta,
I got it!
our nuptial hour draws on apace. For happy days bring in another moon, takes these golden wings. She lingers on my desires.
4 days will quickly steep themselves in nights, 4 nights will quickly dream away the time, and then the moon shall behold the night of our solemnities.
Happy be Theseus, our renowned duke.
Thanks, good Aegeus. What's the news with thee?
Oh, full of vexation come I with complaint against my child, my daughter Hermia. Stand forth, Demetrius, my noble lord. This man hath my consent to marry her. Stand forth, Lysander, and my gracious duke. This man hath bewitched the bosom of my child. With cunning hast thou filched my daughter's heart. Be it so she not here before your grace consent to marry with Demetrius. I beg the ancient privilege of all Athens, as she is mine. I may dispose of her, which shall be either to this gentleman or to her death, according to our law.
What say you, Hermia? Be advised, fair maid. To you, your father should be as a god. Demetrius is a worthy gentleman.
So is Lysander.
In himself he is, but in this kind, wanting your father's voice, the other must be held worthier.
I beseech your grace that I may know the worst that may befall me in this case if I refuse to wed Demetrius.
Either to die the death or to abjure forever the society of men. You can endure the livery of a nun.
So I will grow, so live, so die, my lord. Oh.
Take time to pause, and by the next new moon, either prepare to die or wed Demetrius.
Relent, sweet Hermia, and Lysander, yield thy praised title to my certain right.
You have her father's love, Demetrius. Let me have Hermia's. Do you marry him?
Oh, scornful Lysander. True, he hath my love, and what is mine my love shall render him, and she is mine.
I am, my lord, as well derived as he, as well possessed. My love is more than his, and more than all these boasts can be. I am beloved of beauteous Hermia. Demetrius, I'll avouch it to his head, made love to Nader's daughter Helena, and won her soul, and she, sweet lady, dotes, devoutly dotes, upon this spotted, inconsistent man.
I must confess I've heard so much. But Demetrius, come, and Aegeus, come. I have some private schooling for you both.
How now, my love? Why is your cheek so pale? What chance the roses there do fade so fast?
Oh, how to choose love by another's eyes.
Hear me, Hermia. I have a widowed aunt. From Athens is her house remote 7 leagues, and she respects me as her only son. There, gentle Hermia, may I marry thee, and the sharp Athenian law cannot pursue us. If thou lovest me then, steal forth from thy father's house tomorrow night, and meet me in the wood, and there will I stay for thee.
My good Lysander, I swear to thee, by Cupid's strongest bow, truly will I meet with thee.
Look, here comes Helena.
Godspeed, fair Helena. Whither away?
Call you me fair, that fair again unsay. Demetrius loves your fair. Oh, happy fair! Oh, teach me how you look, and with what art you sway the motion of Demetrius's heart.
Oh, I give him purses, yet he gives me love.
Oh, that my frowns could teach your smiles of skill.
The more I hate, the more he follows me.
The more I love, the more he hateth me.
His folly, Helena, is no fault of mine.
None but your beauty would that fault were mine.
Take comfort, you no more shall see my face. Lysander and myself will fly this place, and thence from Athens turn away our eyes. Good luck, sweet fellow, and pray thou for us. Grant thee thy Demetrius. Helena, adieu. As you on him, Demetrius dote on you. Let's go.
How happy some or other son can be. Through Athens I am thought as fair as she, but what of that Demetrius thinks not so. I will go tell him of fair Hermia's flight. Then to the wood will he tomorrow night pursue her. And for this intelligence, if I have thanks, it is a dear expense.
Is all our company here? Here is the scroll, of every man's name, which is thought fit through all Athens to perform in our interlude before the Duke and the Duchess on his wedding day at night.
First, good Peter Quince, say what the play treats on, and then read the names of the actors.
Marry, our play is the most lamentable comedy and most cruel death of Pyramus and Thisbe. Answer as I call you. Nick Bottom, the weaver. You, Nick Bottom, are set down for Pyramus.
What is Pyramus? A lover or a tyrant?
A lover that kills himself most gallant for love.
Well, that will ask for some tears in the true performing of it. If I do it, let the audience look to their eyes. I will move storms. I will condole in some measure.
All right. Francis Flute. Oh, yeah. The bellows mender. Flute, you must take Thisbe on you.
Oh, what is Thisbe? A wandering knight?
It is the lady that Pyramus must love.
Nay, faith! Let me not play a woman. I have a beard coming in my ear.
Let me play Thisbe too. I'll speak in a monstrous little voice. Thisbe, Thisbe, Pyramus, lover dear, and lady dear.
No, you must play Pyramus and Flute, you Thisbe.
Well, proceed.
Yeah, proceed.
Robin Starman, the tailor. You must play Thisbe's mother.
Sweet.
Tom Stout, the tinker.
That's me.
You, Pyramus's father.
Yes.
Myself, Thisbe's father. Snug, the joiner, yes. You, the lion's part, and I hope here is a play fitted.
He's the lion's part written. Pray you, if it be, give it to me, for I am slow of study.
Well, it is nothing but roaring.
Let me play the lion too. I will roar that I will do any man's heart good to hear me. I will roar that I will make the Duke say, let him roar again! Let him roar again! Let him roar again!
Calm down.
And you should do it too terribly. You would frighten the Duchess and the ladies that they would shriek, and that were enough to hang us all.
I guess it can be helped.
You can play no part but Pyramus.
Well, I will undertake it.
All right.
Masters, here are your parts. Tomorrow night, meet me in the palace wood by moonlight. There will we rehearse. Pray you, fail me not.
We will meet, and there we may rehearse, most obscenely and courageously. Take pains. Be perfect. Adieu.
That was a pretty good rehearsal.
Little lanes of beer, like that, huh?
Oh, what? Rehearsal's over? Sweet! I love thee not, therefore pursue me not. Where is Lysander and fair Hermia? The one I'll slay, the other slayeth me.
You draw me, you hard-hearted adamant.
Do I entice you? Do I speak you fair? Or rather, do I not in plainest truth tell you I do not nor I cannot love you?
And even for that do I love you the more.
Tempt not too much the hatred of my spirit, for I am sick when I do look on thee.
And I am sick when I look not on you.
You do impeach your modesty too much, to leave the city and commit yourself into the hands of the one that loves you not, to trust the opportunities of night.
Your wrongs do set a scandal on my sex. We cannot fight for love as men may do. We should be wood. And we're not made to woo. Follow thee and make of heaven of hell, to die upon the hand I love so well.
Fare thee well, nymph. Ere he do leave this grove, and thou shalt fly with him to seek his love. Hast thou the flower there?
Ah, there it is.
I pray thee, give it to me. Take thou some of it, and seek through this grove. A sweet Athenian lady is in love, with a disdainful youth anointing his eyes. But do it when the next thing he espies might be the young lady. Thou shalt know the man by the Athenian garments he hath on.
Fear not, my lord, your servant shall do so.
now we'll roundel in a fairy dance. Sing me now asleep, then to your offices and let me rest.
Fair love, you faint with wandering in the wood, and to speak troth, I have forgot our way. We'll rest us, Hermia, if you think it good, and tarry for the comfort of the day.
Be it so, Lysander. Find you out of bed. For I upon this bank will rest my head.
One turf shall serve as pillow for us both. One bed, one heart, two bosoms, and one troth.
Nay, good Lysander, do not lie so near. For my sake, my dear, lie further off yet. Do not lie so near. Such separation as may as well be said becomes a virtuous bachelor and a med. So far, be distant. 6 feet. Thank you. And good night, sweet friend. Oh, thy love ne'er alter till thy sweet life ends.
Oh, man. Men. Oh, men. To that fair prayer, say ah. And then end life when I end loyalty. Here is mine. Sleep gives thee all his rest.
Who is here? Weeds of Athens he doth wear. Sleep his seat on thy eyelids, so he'll awake when I am gone. For I must now to Oberon.
Stay, don't thou kill me, sweet Demetrius.
I charge thee hence, and do not haunt me thus.
Oh, I am out of breath in this fond chase. The more my prayer, the lesser is my grace. But who is here? Lysander on the ground, dead or asleep? I see no blood, no wound. Lysander, if you live, good sir, awake.
Run through fire I will for thy sweet sake. Oh, transparent Helena, nature shows art that through thy bosom makes me see thy heart. Oh, where is Demetrius? How fit a word is that vile name to perish on my
Do
sword!
not say so, Lysander, say not so. What though he love your Hermia, Lord, what though? Yet Hermia still loves you, then be content.
Content with Hermia? No, I do repent the tedious minutes I with her spent. Not Hermia, but Helena I love.
Wherefore was I to this keen mockery born? When at your hands did I deserve this scorn? Oh, that a lady of one man refused should of another therefore be abused.
Hermia, sleep thou then, and all you my powers address your love and might to honor Helen and to be her knight.
What? Oh. Oh. Ay, don't worry, Lysander? Help me. Lysander? Help me. Lysander? Oh. What? Out of hearing? Gone? No sound? No word? Oh. Oh. Gosh darn it!
Are we all met?
Pat, Pat, and here's a marvelous convenient place for our rehearsal.
Peter Quince.
What sayest thou, Bully Bottom?
There are things in this comedy of Pyramus and Thisbe that will simply never please. First, Pyramus must draw a sword to kill himself, which the ladies cannot abide. How answer you that?
I believe we must leave the killing out when all is done.
Not a wit. I have a device to make all well. Write me a prologue, and let the prologue seem to say, we shall do no harm with our swords, and, for the more better assurance, Tell them that I, Pyramus, am not Pyramus at all, but Bottom, the weaver. This will put them out of fear.
Wonderful. That's using your noggin.
Well, we will have such a prologue. Indeed.
You're gonna do it.
Wait!
Huh?
Won't the ladies be afeard of the lion?
I fear it, I'll promise you.
God shield us! A lion among ladies is a most dreadful thing.
So, we'll just have to write a prologue for the lion as well.
And there indeed let him name his name and tell them plainly he is Snug the joiner.
Yes, if that may be, then all is well. Come, sit down, every mother's son, and rehearse your parts.
What hempen homespuns have we swaggering here so near the cradle of the fairy queen? What? A play toward? I'll be an auditor. An actor too, perhaps, if I see cause.
Speak, Pyramus. Thisbe, stand forth.
Thisbe, the flowers of Odious savour sweet.
Odors!
Odors savour sweet. So hath thy breath, my dearest Thisbe, dear. But hark, a voice. Stay thou but here a while, and by I will to thee appear.
A stranger Pyramus that e'er played here.
Must I speak now?
Aye, Mary, must you? You must understand, he goes, but to see a noise that he heard, and is to come again.
Okay,
Most radiant Pyramus, and truest horse that yet would never tire, I'll meet thee, Pyramus, at Ninny's tomb.
Ninny's tomb, man!
Oh,
As truest horse that yet would never tire.
If I were fair Thisbe, I were only thine.
Monstrous, so strange, we are haunted, pray masters, fly masters,
This is knavery of them to make me a fear.
Oh, hey, Bottom. Whoa! Bottom! What do I see on thee?
What do you see on me? You see an asset of your own, do you?
Bless me, Bottom, bless me! Thou art translated!
I see their knavery. This is to make an ass of me, to fright me, if they could. But I will not stir from this place. I will walk up and down here, and I shall sing, to show them I am not afraid. Is this the real life? Is this just fantasy? Caught in a landslide, no escape from reality. Open your eyes, look up to the sky, and see!
What angel wakes me from my flowery bed? I pray thee, gentle mortal, sing again.
Galileo, 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 Figaro, Magnifico.
My ear is much enamored of thy notes, so is my eye enthralled to thy shape. And thy fair virtues force perforce doth move me, on the first view, to swear I love thee.
Oh, methinks, mistress, you should have little reason for that. And yet, to say the truth, reason and love keep little company together nowadays.
Thou art as wise as thou art beautiful. I'll give thee fairies to attend on thee, and sing while thou on pressed flowers dost sleep. Peas blossom, cobweb, moth, and mustard seed.
Ready? And I.
It's up.
And I.
Where shall we go?
Be kind and courteous to this gentleman.
Hail, mortal. Hail.
Hail.
Come, lead him to my bower. The moon, methinks, looks with a watery eye, lamenting some enforced chastity. Tie up my love's tongue, bring him in silently.
Yeah, she wants that ass.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that one. That's very good.
I wonder if Titania be awake. Then what was it that next came in her eye, which she must dote upon in extremity? How now, my spirit? What night rule about this haunted grove?
My mistress with the monster is in love. A crew of patches, rude mechanicals, were here to rehearse a play. The shallowest thick skin of that barren sword, an ass's knoll I fixed on his head, when, in that moment, so it came to pass, Titania waked, and straightway loved an ass.
Oh, this proves out better than I could have planned. But hast thou yet latched the Athenian's eyes, with the love juice, as I did bid thee do?
I took him sleeping, that is finished too.
Stand close. This is the same Athenian.
This is the woman, but not this the man.
Well, why rebuke you him who loves you so? Lay breath so bitter on your bitter foe.
What's this to my Lysander? Where is he? Good Demetrius, wilt thou give him me?
I had rather give his carcass to my hound.
I pray thee, then tell me that he is well.
If I could, what should I get there for?
A privilege never to see me more, and from thy hated presence part I so.
There is no following her in this fierce vein. Here, therefore, for a while I will remain.
What hast thou done? Thou hast mistaken quite, and laid the love juice on some true love's sight. By my misprison perforce into some true love turned, and on a false one turned true.
Helena is here at hand, and the youth mistook my me, pleading for a lover's fee. Shall we their fond pageant see? Lord, what fools these mortals be!
Stand aside, the noise they make will cause Demetrius to awake.
Then we'll two at once woo one!
Why do you think that I should woo and scorn?
You do advance your cunning more and more. When truth kills truth, oh devilish holy fray, these vows are Hermia's. Will you give her o'er?
I had no judgment when to her I swore.
Nor none in my mind. Now you give her o'er.
Demetrius loves her and loves not you.
Oh, Helena, goddess, nymph, perfect, divine. To what, my love, shall I compare thy eyne, thy lips, those kissing cherries, tempting grow? Oh, let me kiss this princess of pure white, this seal of bliss.
Oh, spite! Oh, hell, I see you all are bent to set against me for your merriment. If you were men, as men you are in show, you would not use a gentle lady so. To vow and swear and super praise my parts when I am sure you hate me with your hearts. You both are rivals and love Hermia, and now both rivals to mock Helena.
You are unkind, Demetrius. Be not so. For you love Hermia. This you know I know.
Never did mockers waste more idle breath.
Lysander, keep thy Hermia, I will none. If e'er I loved her, all that love is gone. Now to Helen it is home return, there to remain.
Helen, it is not so.
Look, where thy love comes. Yonder is thy dear.
Thou art not by my eye. Lysander found my ear, I thank thee. Brought me to thyself. But why unkindly dost thou leave me so?
Why should he stay whom love doth press to go?
What love could press Lysander from my side?
Lysander's love that would not let him bide, fair Helena. Why seekest thou me? Could not this make thee know the hate I bear for thee made me leave thee so?
You speak not as you think. It cannot be.
Lo, she is one of this confederacy. Injurious Hermia, most ungrateful maid. Have you conspired? Have you with these contrived to bait me with this foul derision?
I'm amazed at your passionate words. I scorn you not. It seems that you scorn me.
Have you not set Lysander, as in scorn, to follow me and praise my eyes and face, and sent your other love Demetrius, who even but now did spurn me with his foot, to call me goddess, nymph, divine and rare, precious, celestial?
Stay, gentle Helena, hear my excuse. My love, my life, my soul, fair Helena!
Oh, excellent! Do not scorn her so!
I say I love thee more than he can do.
If thou say it so, withdraw and prove it too!
Lysander, where to tense all this?
Hang off, the cat, the
shake thee from me like a serpent.
Why are you grown so rude? What changes this sweet love?
Thy love. Out, Tony Tauntaun, out! Out, loathed medicine, hated potion, hence!
Do you not jest?
Yes, Sooth, and so do you.
I was not talking to you.
Demetrius, I will keep my word with thee.
I would I had your bond, for I perceive a weak bond holds thee. I'll not trust your word.
What should I hurt her, strike her, kill her dead?
Ow.
Although I hate her, I'll not harm her so.
What could you do me greater harm than hate? Are not I Hermia? Are not you Lysander? I am as fair now as I was erewhile.
Be certain 'tis no jest that I do hate thee and love Helena.
Oh, no, you don't. Come here.
Ah!
1, 2, 3, yeah!
Oh, me? You juggler, you cake of blossom, you thief of love! What, have you come by night and stolen my most heart from him?
Fine and faith, have you no modesty, no maiden shame? What, will you tear sweet answers from my gentle tongue? Fie, you counterfeit, you puppet, you.
Good, right? That was easy. Now I perceive how she has made compare between our statures she has earned her height. How low am I, thou painted maid, full sweet? How low am I? But I am yet so low but that my nails may reach unto thine eyes.
I pray you, love, gentlemen, let her not strike me. You perhaps may think because she's something lower than myself that I can match her.
Fear not, Helena. She shall not harm thee.
No, sir, she shall not, though you take her part.
Oh, when she is angry, she is keen and shrewd. She was a vixen when she went to school, and though she be but little, she is fierce.
Little, again, nothing but low and little. Why will you suffer me to flout her thus?
Get gone, you dwarf. You minimus of hindering not grass maid. You bead, you acorn.
You are too officious. Let her alone. Speak not of Helena.
Now, follow if thou darest to try who's right. Of thine or mine is most in Helena.
Follow? Nay, I'll go with thee. Cheek by jowl.
Oh, they're gone. Now, you, all this coil is long of you. Nay, go not back.
Your hands than mine are quicker for a fray. My legs are longer, though, to run away.
I am amazed, yet know not what to say.
This is thy negligence. Still thou mistakes, or else commits thy knaveries willfully.
Believe me, King of Shadows, I mistook. Was it not you who told me I should know the man by the Athenian garment he had on?
Thou seest these lovers seek a place to fight. Hide therefore, Robin, overcast the night. Then crush this herb into Lysander's eye. And next they wake, all this derision shall seem a dream and fruitless vision. Out to my queen and beg her Indian boy, and then I will her charmed eye release from monster's view, and all things shall be peace.
My fairy lord, this must be done with haste.
Come, sit thee down upon this flowery bed, while I thy amiable cheeks do coy. and stick musk roses in thy sleek, smooth head, my gentle joy. But wilt thou hear some music, my sweet love?
I have a reasonable good ear in music. Let's have the tongues and the bones. Oh.
Or say, sweet love, what thou desirest to eat.
Truly a peck of provender. I could munch your good dry oats. Methinks I have a great desire to some hay. Good hay. Sweet hay. Hay. No fellow.
I have a venturous fairy that shall fetch the squirrel's hoard and seek thee new nuts.
I had rather have a handful or two of dried peas. But pray you, let none of your people stir me. I have an exposition of sleep come upon me.
Sleep thou, and I will wind thee in my arms. Fairies, be gone, and be always away.
Welcome, good Robin. Seest now the sweet sight? Oh, her dotage I do now begin to pity. As now I have the Indian boy, I will release her from this hateful spell. Now, my Titania, wake you, my sweet queen.
My Oberon, what visions have I seen? Methought I was enamored of an ass.
There lies your love.
Ah! How came these things to pass? Oh, my eyes do loathe his visage now.
Silence a while. Robin, take off his head. Sound! Music! Come, my queen. Let us rock the ground whereon these sleepers be.
My daughter here asleep, and this Lysander, this Demetrius's, this Helena.
Go get the huntsmen and wake them with their horns. I pray you all stand up. I know you two are rival enemies. How comes this gentle concord in the world, that hatred be so far from jealousy? To sleep I hate and fear no enmity?
My lord, I shall reply amazedly. I came hither with Hermia. Our intent was to be gone from Athens, where we might wed without the peril of the Athenian law.
Oh, enough, enough, my lord, you have enough. I beg the law upon his head.
My lord, fair Helen told me of their stealth, of this their purpose hither to this wood. I in fury hither followed them, fair Helen in fancy following me. But, my good lord, I know not by what power, but by some power 'tis. My love for Hermia melted like the snow, and all the faith, the virtue of my heart, the object and pleasure of mine eye, was only Helena.
Fair lovers, you are fortunately met. Of this discourse we will more hear anon. Aegeus, I will overbear your rule. For in this temple, by and by with us, these couples shall be eternally knit. Away with us to Athens, 3 and 3. We'll hold a feast in great solemnity. Come, Hippolyta.
I have had a most rare vision. I have had a dream, past the wit of man to say what dream it was. Man is but an ass if you go about to expound this dream. Methought I was there. Is no man can tell what? Methought I was, and methought I had. I will get Peter Quince to write a ballad of this dream. It shall be called Bottom's Dream, because it hath no bottom. And I will sing it at the latter end of the play, before the Duke.
Where is our usual manager of mirth? What revels are in hand? Is there no play to ease the anguish of a torturing hour? Call Philostrate.
mighty Theseus.
Say, what abridgment have you for this evening?
A tedious brief scene of young Pyramus and his love Thisbe. Very tragical mirth. And tragical, my noble lord, it is. For Pyramus therein doth kill himself. Which, when I saw rehearsed, I must confess, made mine eyes water. But more merry tears the passion of loud laughter never shed.
I will hear that play. Go, bring them in, and take your places, ladies.
Places.
We offend. It is with our good will that you should think. We come not to offend, but with good will, to show our simple skill. That is the true beginning of our end. We do not come as minding to contest you. Our true intent is all for your delight. We are not here that you should here repent you. The actors are at hand, and by their show you shall know all that you are like to know. Thank you.
This fellow doth not stand upon points.
I wonder if the lion need to speak.
In the same interlude, it doth befall that I would not by name present a wall, and through this wall may have you think, I had it in a cranny pool or chape, through which the lovers, Pyramus and Thisbe, did whisper often, very secretively.
Pyramus draws near the wall. Silence!
Oh, grim looked night. Oh, night with hue so black. Oh, night, whichever art when day is not. Oh, night. Oh, night. Alack. 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 I fear my Thisbe's promises forgot. Show me thy chink to blink through with mine eye. Thanks, courteous wall.
You're welcome.
But what see I? No Thisbe do I see. O wicked wall through whom I see no bliss. Cursed be thy stones for thus deceiving me.
Methinks being sensible the wall should curse again.
No, in truth, deceiving me is Thisbe's cue. She is to enter now, and I am to spy her through the wall. You shall see. It will fall pat as I told you. Yonder she comes.
Oh, wall! Full often hast thou heard my moans, for parting my fair Pyramus and me. My cherry lips have often kissed thy stones with lime and hair knit up in thee.
Now will I to the chink to spy, and I can hear my Thisbe's face. Thisbe?
My love, Lord, my love, I think.
Think what thou wilt. I am thy lover's grace. Oh, kiss me through the hole of this vile wall. Oh.
Hey, whoa, we did not rehearse this.
Social distance.
I kiss the walls all, yet your lips at all.
Wilt thou meet me at Nini's tomb straightway?
Thy light, thy death, I come without delay.
Oh.
Thus have I, wall, my part discharged so, and being done, thus wall away doth go.
This is the silliest stuff that ever I heard.
You, ladies, you, whose gentle hearts do fear the smallest monstrous mouse that creeps on floor, may now perchance both quake and tremble here, when lion rough in wildest rage doth roar. Then know that I, one snug the joiner, am one lion fell, nor else no lions down. For if I should, as lion come in strife, into this place, 'twere pity on my life.
A very gentle beast of a good conscience.
All that I have to say is that this lanthorn is the moon. I, the man in the moon. This thorn bush
my thorn bush. And this dog, my dog.
But silence, here comes Thisbe.
This is old Minnie's tomb. Where is my love? Where is my love?
Roar.
Where is my love?
Well roared, lion.
Thank you! Well run, Thisbe.
Well shown, moon. Truly, the moon shines with a good grace.
Well moused, lion.
But stay, O spite, but mark poor night. What dreadful dole is here? Eyes, do you see? How can it be? O dainty duck, oh dear, thy mantle good, what stained it with blood?
This passion and the death of a dear friend would go near to make any man look sad.
Beshrew my heart, but I pity the man.
Oh, wherefore outdid thou lion's frame? Since lion foul hath here deflowered my dear. Out, sword, and wound the pap of Pyramus. I that left pap where heart doth hop. Thus die I. Thus. Now am I dead? Now am I fled? My soul is in the sky. Tongue, lose thy light. Moon, take thy flight. Now die! 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 Die!
With the help of the surgeon.
Die!
With the help of the
Die!
With the help of the surgeon. With the help of the With the help of a surgeon, he might yet recover and prove an ass.
How chance moonshine is gone before Thisbe comes back to find her love.
Here comes Thisbe, and her passion ends the play.
Asleep, my love? Again, my love? Oh, speak, speak, arise. Dead, dead. Oh. Come, trusty babe. Come, sword, my breast imbue. Ah. Farewell, friends. Thus is the end. Adieu, adieu, adieu.
Blech.
Moonshine and Lion are left to bury the dead.
Aye, and Wall too.
No, I assure you the wall is down that part of their fathers. Will it please you to see the epilogue?
No epilogue, I pray you. For your play needs no excuse. Never an excuse. For when the players are all dead, there needs none to be blamed. The iron tongue hath told 12. Lovers, to bed. 'Tis almost fairy time.
Through the house give glimmering light, by the dead and drowsy fire. Every elf and every sprite, how blight is bird from briar. Sing, and dance it trippingly.
First, rehearse your song by rote, to each word a warbling note. Hand in hand, a fairy grace, we will sing and bless this place.
If we shadows have offended, think but this, and all is mended. That you have but slumbered here while these visions did appear. And this weak and idle theme, no more yielding but a dream. Gentles, do not reprehend. If you pardon, we will mend. Give me your hands if we be friends, and Robin shall restore amends.
We hope you enjoyed our show. Thanks so much for watching.
It was really fun to do this, and I hope you had a fantastic time. Thanks so much for tuning in.
Great, and we have a few questions for the actors from some of our audience. So it seems a lot of our audience enjoyed the improvisation that was put in here with Shakespeare. Can anybody speak a little bit about what that process was like, mixing in improvisation with Shakespeare?
Jamal will go.
Yeah.
So as you know, as a Jamal person, it was really interesting to bring out my inner character and just go with the flow. I really enjoyed that part, you know, and I feel like you could feel it with my lines as well. And I'm sure the director, Mike Mullen, who really helped me grow, it just really got a grasp on there. And yeah, I just really enjoyed the improvisation part. Renee, do you want to take away? Sure. Just like what Jamal said, I definitely had fun, and I had a lot of time thinking of how to be creative with it and just, you know, wrapping my own perspective onto the show. And I'm sure a lot of the cast here as well had as much fun because this was an enjoyable show. We had so much fun doing this. So yeah, I enjoyed the improv aspect part.
Yeah, one of my favorite improv moments was when I got to body slam Lysander. That scene went really well for the first few nights, and then one night, unfortunately, I had lost control of the puppet, and Lysander got body slammed into the wall of the set, and it was just really chaotic, and but it was really great to improv and do that scene because I found it really funny when we first came up with the idea of it, and it made it to the show, and it's really funny, and I hope you really liked it.
So another thing, we have some jokes in the show with the improv, but also some comments about social distancing in this piece and how, you know, even right now we're all still wearing masks because of the pandemic. What was the process of working in live theater while still having to adhere to these restrictions? What was that like for all of you, and how did some of the choices you made, how did they come out of those constraints?
Well, I thought it was, you know, a pretty interesting experience because we had like a time limit. We couldn't be like, you know, we have scenes where like we need to be close together, but we couldn't be close together. And like, if we were gonna be close together, we had to be on like a time limit of like 5 to 10 minutes. And so, like, we would be filming a scene that we'd have to like kind of break up for a while. And then, you know, like the dressing rooms, we could only have one person in there at a time. So that it was certainly a different experience.
I think to add on to that, something that is so great about theater is that it's live and different every time. However, we were still able to do a bunch of runs and perform and put this piece together to share. The college was very generous allowing us to do this. It's been very difficult for the arts since the pandemic hit. So we're all so thankful that we were able to still put a show on and work on this piece collectively this year.
And so with that, also, not just, you know, performing in this kind of social distance manner and having to have masks, but what was rehearsal like? Did you get a lot of time together to be in the same place, rehearsing all of these bits? What was the rehearsal process like?
So we had so the first month or two, all the rehearsals were on Zoom. So we mainly focused on the lines. And then we had about a week where we came in and we were graciously allowed to use the space, but we had never seen what the set was going to look like. So we had to block it within like 2 days, then we had to memorize the blocking, act it, and then we had to start filming. So it was kind of like a very rushed process, but the fact that we were even able to do this, it was just, I know it made all of us really happy because we hadn't been together in so long, and theater is all about connection, so it was really nice that even though we were social distance, we were able to use the puppets and we were able to use the space, so it was fun.
That is a really good point. And to build off of that, like, you know, theater, you know, you always form a very tight-knit community with your actors and, you know, your fellow actors, I mean. And so, you know, to have to be distanced from one another, even if we're in the same room, like, it's not easy. You know, you want to be, you know, before the pandemic, whenever I'd see a friend coming down the hall, I'd be, hey, how are you? Give him a big hug. You can't do that anymore. Even when we're not on stage, you know, we'd have our seats like 6 feet apart, and you know, I don't want to say it's not as fun, but it's just not the same. But to still be able to do it is a big treat and an achievement in and of itself, given the current crazy times we're going through.
And we have one more question from the comments, asking about, normally when you do a theater piece, one of the main components is the interaction you get with the live audience. So having to do this more like a film and not having a live audience, what was it like not having an audience to perform for?
Especially with a comedy, I think it's so nice to hear the audience laugh at the jokes that are put into the show or that are improvised, and to not be able to get that reaction from the audience. It was hard to deal with that and also know if the jokes were landing correctly without having feedback, so that was a little bit difficult.
To add on to that, actually, it was definitely weird. I mean, we had our fair share of like directors and the people that were handling the lighting and stuff like that, but they're not focused on the plot and the lines. They're focusing on getting the cues right. So it was definitely difficult. And sometimes I even had to go home and tell the joke to my family and be like, "Does this work?" And they'll help me out that way too. So.
Yeah, definitely. With the donkey joke that I said to the Bush brother, that she once had asked, I didn't know if that was gonna land correctly because I didn't know if people would laugh at it online. But when I said it on Zoom, everybody just cracked up because it was like an improv line. Professor Michael Mullen, he cracked up, and I just knew that that line was gonna stay in the show, and everybody really seemed to enjoy it. And so I just really like making people laugh, and just to know that people found that funny, given the times that we're in now, I think we all just really need a good laugh, and like I really like to give that to people. I like to make them laugh and be happy.
Thankfully, our director, Mike, he's done a lot of comedy, so we were able to go to him for guidance for a lot of the jokes, like, hey, do you think this works? And he'd be able to say, yeah, I didn't, or he would let us try it out, we would test it for a couple of runs, and he'd be like, do it this way, maybe try a different approach. So it was good to have that type of guidance of being like, even though we didn't have like an audience, we still had someone who was an expert on what comedy is, and especially Shakespearean comedy, because it requires a lot of training, so it was great to have that influence by Mike.
And it's interesting to do it, as a filmed piece, because that introduces a whole new element that isn't there with with a live performance, which is, the aspect of editing, which we were not involved with the editing, but you can see, like we had cuts and scene transitions, we had to worry about sound, music, whether or not our voices were being picked up by mics, and continuity too within the cuts. If something didn't look right between cuts, it was we couldn't use whatever shot we wanted to use. So it's an interesting challenge to introduce to this piece that usually we don't have to worry about any of those things.
And so we have one more question just came through the chat about the puppeting, a very specific one. So the question is, how long did it take you to get the hang of the puppet doing the work versus you, the actor, doing the work? Did you ever confuse them at the same time?
Well, we had two puppets. We had the hand puppets, Jamal, and we had the wooden puppets, which were the lover characters, Lysander, Demetrius, Hermia, Helena. My own personal experience was I, for a long time, hated working with the wooden puppets, because it's not like with the hand puppet, you have the hand talking and you have a little stick that can move around the hand. But with the wooden puppets, we had a stick that had to control the body, control the arms, control the head. So you have two hands, but you're working with four sticks, and it's a frustrating process at first. It took a lot of practice. Like I said, I really didn't like the puppets for a while, but you get the hang of it, and at the end of the day, it's a lot of fun. And given the circumstances, I wouldn't have had it any other way.
Yeah, one of the funniest things about the wooden puppets that we used for the lovers, their body parts were like really flimsy at first. and they kept falling off. If I had a coin, like a dollar coin, for every time Demetrius's body part, like his arm fell off or his leg fell off, I'd be Scrooge McDuck by now in the opening theme song of DuckTales, like diving into that money. Oof.
Yeah.
Demetrius was really hard to work with, but it worked out.
Yeah.
I also think that it was good. I didn't use any of the puppets, but when we were on Zoom, because the school let us use the puppets before we had gotten into the actual space. So over Zoom, they were able to practice with the wooden puppets, they were able to practice with the hand puppets. So we had about a month and a half to like really start using them, and by the time we were in the space, everybody kind of had the hang of it.
To add on to that, yeah, when we got the puppets graciously by the school, I was at first I was skeptical. I was like, do I really want to be working with puppets? Because let's be honest. And then I thought more about it, and then I got the feel for it. Then I got Jamal. And let me be honest. When I got Jamal, I felt a connection, and I wouldn't take that back for the world. And as well as Hermia, which I also named her Denise. Denise had some issues. Denise would always get stuck on something. Her foot would fall off. Her hair would get stuck on other puppets. It was insane. But the process was just all in all really fun, and I wouldn't take it back. So was it grueling and task laboring and all that frustration? Yes, it was very frustrating. But it all worked out in the end, and I would not take that experience back for the world. I love them.
And Shakespeare shows are very physical, especially with a lot of the jokes, they happen physically instead of verbally. So to have to use puppets where you were very limited with the amount of movements that you could do with the sticks of the puppets and stuff like that, it was hard to get used to, but it was a great experience to have because without COVID, like we probably wouldn't have had the experience of using puppets.
Yeah.
So it was a very cool thing to learn how to do.
We should also, can we talk about the faces on the wooden puppets?
Oh my god! Lysander's face kept falling off.
Faces were falling off.
Yes.
The faces
that
were terrifying.
The faces
were
looked
coming
terrifying.
Yeah.
It was memories like that that made it really fun. Like, I'll always remember the puppets breaking and us all laughing, and the fact that we were able, like Elizabeth was saying, the COVID, there is the silver lining. We probably wouldn't have done a puppet show if we had been able to be so close in space to space. And theater, there's so many different ways to do theater, and puppetry is a really specific area. So the fact that we were able to kind of dabble in it and learn the technique, it was fun. It's like, okay, when I actually go into the field, hey, I know how to use a puppet a little bit. Like I did a Shakespeare show with one, so it's all good.
So kind of on that, somebody just has to follow up on puppets about, do you think it's beneficial for beginning actors to be working with puppets, and why?
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, sure.
It keeps you more focused, and also the idea of putting the emotion into something as opposed to your face, it makes you really hyper aware of what you're doing with your body and how it portrays, because you don't want to take the focus off of the puppet, you want it to be on them as opposed to your body or your face. So you really have to use your voice to like emote. So it was, again, I didn't use puppets, but I watched everybody else do it. And it was fun.
To go off of that, it was also what she was saying about emoting through this object. It's also interesting because we're all wearing masks, so you can't see half our face.
Can't see our
And
face.
in the case of me and Albert here, we were wearing those bush outfits. You couldn't see our face, even the top half of our face, because of our outfits. So you've basically, you know, in a way, like tied our hands behind our backs as actors, and to work through that, it's a challenge. But you know, I think we rose to the challenge, and I'm really happy with how all our performances came out. I think given the circumstances, that's going to be like a popular term during these discussions. I think we really knocked it out of the park. Not to toot our own horn.
Anyway, so on that note, thank you all for coming. Thank you all for watching. It is so nice to do theater where we can all be together. I know we are not physically together, but thank you for being together with us digitally. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Tell your friends to come.